Okay, you know that moment when you're doom scrolling on Instagram, like laughing at a meme, and suddenly someone describes your entire inner world, and you're like, wait, it's me. This video, I'm walking you through the 5 ADHD Instagram memes that absolutely stopped me in my tracks. Not because they were funny, which they were, yes, absolutely, but because they explained things I hadn't really had words for, and they kind of made me have like light bulb moments. You know, kind of that crushing sensitivity, sensory chaos, that weird thing where you have to stim but feel like you shouldn't and didn't know that it was a thing. So I'll unpack why these traits are so common and often missed, and how seeing them online finally made me go, oh, so this is who I am. It's just ADHD. So, kia ora. Hello. I'm late diagnosed. I'm still unmasking and I'm still figuring out this in real time while juggling life, being a mum, being a work leader. It's a lot to juggle. I share this stuff not because I've got it all sorted, but because we all kind of deserve to feel seen without needing to perform for it. So if you've ever felt like you've been too much, too sensitive, too loud, too tired, too weird, too wired, this is for you. So hit the subscribe button. If you want more content about ADHD, autism, masking, unmasking, and making journaling and productivity actually work for neurodivergent brains as well, I do a video every Saturday. So let's get started with the first one that hit me kind of like a brick. The Instagram was just essentially someone doing acts of love. And I was like, I literally do every single one of these. I am that person. So here's the video. Okay, so just to be clear, that is me down to a T. I do all of those things. I info dump, I pebble, I like do all these little acts of love. So I didn't know until recently that that was actually a really key autistic thing to do. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the next one. Well, let me show you the next one. Actually, have you had a moment where you've seen a reel or a shorts or like a TikTok where you thought, oh my god, that's totally me, and then we're like, oh yikes? Drop a comment below with either the link or what it was. I'd love to know as well. So the next one was essentially a blunt message of, if you are deep diving into autism, like deep diving, like you've categorized it or done research on it in a deep dive way, if it's become your entire personality essentially, then maybe you need to consider your choices here. So I did. I definitely started seeing things along the way.
Deep dives into topics or things that you're interested in? Well, a lot of autistic people do. And usually it's...
Okay, here's number 3. This one really hit home for me because when I was watching this, I was actually sitting in the car waiting for my son to finish school. And what was really funny is I had played the same song on repeat since the morning. So from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. I had played the same song on repeat for that entire time. So I felt like I was being personally attacked in this video, which is quite funny.
Well, it could be when you're alone in your car and you repeat words over and over again when no one's looking, or maybe you have a certain song that you play on repeat and you sing to. That could definitely...
So here was the next one is I felt like this was really clear. Like anytime you have a conversation with me or you have an argument with me, I will absolutely like list the 37 reasons as to why my argument is really clear.
So I'll begin with 3 basic arguments, such as chapter 1, and therefore I, furthermore, and to summarize all of my points heretofore, in addition, and now we'll start from the beginning.
There's obviously been other videos that have been like beep, 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 beep. These are the ones that really hit home for me. And I'm hoping that through these videos as well, you start seeing some of you in here as well. I'm hoping we can connect because I know that I'm very unique, and hopefully there's other people out there that are equally as unique. We can connect a little bit. All right, and this one.
And I have a jug of water that I won't drink because I don't like the way it feels under my feet right now. That doesn't make sense, does it? It's because I'm autistic.
Now, if you've made it this far, hit like, because it tells the algorithm it's worth showing me to more people, and I would love that. And if you're sitting there whispering, same girl, same, welcome home. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and come hang out with the rest of us Neuroglorious gang. Super excited to have you here. Now, I wanted to cover a really interesting couple of statistics. ADHD diagnoses have surged, particularly in adults. A 2025 study of 114,000 patients showed that the increase from 2016 to 2023 was mostly due to adult diagnosis, not children diagnoses. Autism diagnoses in adults have skyrocketed. One study found a 450% increase in 26 to 34-year-olds over 11 years. Women and gender diverse people are getting diagnosed at higher rates than ever before. One report showed autism diagnoses in girls increased by 305% compared to 185% in boys. This spike is linked to better awareness, updated diagnostic criteria, increased recognition of masking in women and AFAB people, social media platforms like TikTok, Instagram that have helped people really self-identify and seek assessment. And while some critics worry about overdiagnosis, experts are clarifying that this isn't a surge in new neurodivergence. It's a correlation of historic underdiagnosis, especially for those who have previously been overlooked due to gender bias or internalized symptoms. Bottom line, diagnoses are rising not because more people are suddenly developing ADHD or autism. It's because more people are finally being seen. Now, while we're here, let's talk about ADHD, autism, and the spicy little combo we call AuDHD. They're different, but sometimes they hang out in the same brain. So, like mine. ADHD is like your brain's on 17 tabs and you can't find the music. It's about attention, impulse, energy. But it's also things people don't talk enough about, like emotional whiplash, time blindness, and the crushing guilt of starting nothing and everything all at once. The classic ADHD is go, 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 talk fast, interrupting, forgetful, distracted, deeply passionate, but chronically inconsistent and then burnt out. But that is the classic. There is also the internalization of rejection. So rejection, sensitivity, dysphoria, the go, go, go of your brain, which is not necessarily the physicality of that either. Autism is the pattern seeker brain. It's on a whole different vibe. It needs patterns. It loves depth, routine, and often finds the world a little too much. Classic autism, sensory sensitivity, social fatigue, black and white thinking, hyperfixations that are typically mini PhDs, and a deep need for clarity and calm. It's a common misconception that there's a lack of empathy. It's not. It's a need for honest, direct communication and safe connection. And now you've got the AuDHD brain. It's the friend in the middle who's constantly misunderstood, and there's not a lot of research around it yet, which is really interesting. It's the need for novelty and routine. I want to talk forever. I never see anyone again. I get overstimulated and bored at exactly the same time. And it's the push and pull of impulsivity and shutdown. It's masking like a pro until you collapse. It's being both too much and too sensitive, and then thinking it's your fault. So if you've ever thought, I feel like I'm ADHD, but also autistic, but also maybe it's not confusion, maybe it's both, maybe it's ADHD, and you're just looking for the wrong words to describe what those are, and now you've found one, ADHD. I posted a reel the other day to my Instagram saying I always used to describe myself as an introverted extrovert, but actually it was just autism and ADHD. That is literally the perfect description, because for years and years and years, I've actually got there's an episode of me on a podcast talking about how I thought that I was an extroverted introvert.
And it's why I'm such a great ambivert. I'm absolutely an introvert at home, but the minute you put me in an environment, I play extrovert very well. Nailed it. And I think, and it's exhausting. Like, I get so exhausted and I absolutely know.
But actually, it was autism and ADHD. Now, I see you. You're not too much. You're now just realizing how much you've been carrying. So drop a comment below if you're starting to feel seen, or share the TikTok, Instagram moment that cracked it all open for you. And if you're like me and slowly unmasking the little things you've always done, thinking, wait, is that me? Yes, it is. And it's beautiful. Okay, now, if, like, apparently the very few of us in the world, you are like Lloyd, let's talk about some of the coolest neurodivergent traits that show up in the workplace for both of these. The stuff that doesn't always make it to the performance reviews, but absolutely should. ADHDers are idea machines. They think fast, they connect the dots that no one else can see, and often they're the first to say, wait, what if we just tried this instead? They bring hype, humor, momentum, and they're incredible in a crisis because their brains are already used to chaos. Autistic brains bring depth. They're the one who are the clarity seekers. They're the ones who actually read the policy, spot the gaps, build better systems because they can see it's not working. They value fairness, consistency, and purpose. And when you let them work in ways that honor their sensory and communication needs, they'll go deep, build quietly brilliant things. And the ADHD folks, we are the walking paradoxes in the best way. Creative and analytical, fast-moving and deeply introspective. We're sensitive to what's happening under the surface, but also bold enough to challenge it. So yes, it's a little weird. We adapt quickly, see the systems, spot where things don't feel right, even if no one's said it out loud yet. Basically, we're the human version of Control-Alt-Delete, but in glitter and noise-cancelling headphones. So next time someone says ADHD is just distraction or autism is just rigidity, remind them, these brains, they're wired for innovation, truth, and tenacity. And when we stop trying to fix or make neurodivergent people fit in and start letting them lead, that's when everything changes and things are going to be amazing. So please stick around, wait for next week's video. Happy to have you here.